Well, Paul, good morning. You've been very busy in the transfer market. Lee Stevenson yesterday, and you've got another signing this morning. Tell us more.
Well, I think it's well documented now that that we've signed Lee Stevenson as well as Lyndon Meikle. I've gone back to my former club, so I think to sign definitely one of the hottest prospects in non-league football, and to be fair, in Lee Stevenson that is, and in the second one, in Lyndon Meikle, I think it'll come as a big surprise to a lot of people at this club. So I think we've signed two excellent players, full of ability, and more importantly, full of desire to win.
They've shown what they can do in the Blue Square North. Are you fully confident they've got the ability to make the step up?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it was no secret that Lee Stevenson's been trapped by a number of league clubs right up to League One. Figures were being banded around in the summer, in the season, of six figures. So people don't look at talking about that kind of money without a lad being a good player. Lee, I think, could definitely play league football. I think he's one that's he gives us something that you can't coach, and that he's just a natural goal scorer. So I think it'll bring a massive side to the squad that I'm assembling. In
regard to Lee Stevenson's transfer, an undisclosed fee, was it a sizable fee this club had to pay for him to prize him away from Eastwood?
I'm unsure at the minute. What I did is leave the fees to the two clubs. It was up to them to thrash something out.
If you were still manager of Eastwood, though, would you have expected a sizable fee to prize a player of that calibre?
Well, I always think that good players command good fees, but the scenario was, I think Lee had been documented that he wanted to leave Eastwood. There's like uncertain times at the football club at the minute, and so you never know in football. But like I say, good players command good fees. So, but that's another political situation that I've sort of kept out of it between the two parties to have agreed that.
You've gone back to your former club, Eastwood Town. In regard to other transfers, just tell us a bit about maybe your contact book. I'm not going to ask you for maybe names or numbers of people you deal with on a regular basis, but for the fans, have you got the ability to draw in players of a very high calibre, potential players from the leagues above, the one that Mansfield Town are in?
Well, first and foremost, I don't think it's all about contacts. It's all about, I think the game's based on finance. Now, I spoke to, take for example Lyndon Meikle. Now, while I was at the football club, I set up trials with Lyndon Meikle with Premiership clubs. He's been at Newcastle. He was at Forest when there was in the well, no, not Forest. Forest were in the first division at the time. So in terms of contacts, my game goes, my contact list goes from the top to the bottom. Now, in terms of bringing players to the club, and this is where the book stops, it's all about pounds and pence, not about your contacts. And what I've done in the past is, I think I've got value for money in terms of a good player for a wage that I think is realistic for the level of football. This season there's going to be 500 to 1,000 players on the market, free transfers, and every player is going to come in and try and add £300 a week to his tally that he was earning last year, just because this is Mansfield Town.
Just want to finish with 2 points. Firstly, Tom Naylor reports this week that a Championship club, Leeds United, are after him. Can you confirm or deny that to us?
I don't know anything about that, if I'm honest. It's the first thing I've heard about that. But if that's what the word is on the street, I'm really pleased for Tom. Like I say, it's my job.
Would that give you a battle on your hands to keep?
No, I'd say that every footballer, every person in football has a price. And if Leeds United are interested in him, then I'm hoping Leeds United will contact myself, do things proper, and we'll have to have a chat. Now, if it's in the best interest of the club for Tom to move on, then brilliant. But like I say, we want to be in the market to keep in our best players. The rumour mill in football is frightening, and like I say, until somebody from Leeds United contacts me or any other club, then Tom will be a Mansfield Town player. And like I say, we want to keep hold of our better players. I think Tom has come on leaps and bounds as a footballer, and I think he'll get even better next season. But it's just the nature of the beast in football that good players move on to bigger and better things.
And just finally, have you sorted your backroom staff out yet? For instance, who will be your assistant manager next season on the touchline?
No, talks are still ongoing. You know, I like to work with a close-knit unit behind me. Spoke to one or two people I've worked with in the past, but nothing's been confirmed yet. Talks are ongoing, and I'm hoping that there's some news by the end of the week.
Would you ideally like to bring your assistant from Eastwood to Fieldman?
Yes, I would. Like I say, I work very well with Richard Cooper. Like I say, Richard's got a decent job, you know, that pays him a decent wage, and you know, he's got a young family to feed. So, you know, as well as being a good assistant manager, he's a good friend as well, and I don't want to, you know, put any pressure on him. He'll make the right decision at the right time, whether he wants to come to Mansfield Town or not. And
it'd be fair to say you don't see Paul Hall filling that role in the near future.
Well, I've spoke to Paul. I've told Paul that I want to bring in my own backroom staff. What I've said to Paul, we'll sit down next week and have another chat. You know, I was really impressed with how Paul conducted himself in my meeting with him. And you know, I'm one of these people that would never say never, but I've been honest with Paul. Paul understands my view on the situation, that I'd like to bring in my own backroom staff, but I also realise that there can be roles for people at a football club if you're a good person, and I put Paul in that category.
Okay.
What do you think is going to be the most difficult thing about moving up from part-time management to full-time management? Well, in terms of managing the players, because obviously you were full-time at Eastwood anyway. But I mean,
yeah. I don't see a problem. I mean, I was full-time manager anyway, man. Yeah. I mean, it's just a case of, you know, what you're doing on a Tuesday and Thursday night. You can elaborate more and go into more detail for the days you've got them in. Now, you know, I still think, you know, whether you're managing a football team or you're managing a group of people in a factory, it's all about group dynamics, and it's all about managing people.
Yeah.
Now, like I say, I specifically like to work with both the group, individual and collective.
Yeah.
And I don't see any difference apart from we're 3 days. I get the group in for 3 days, and that can only be in terms of fitness, in terms of organisation, in terms of structure. I can only see that being a positive thing. You know, now what I want to do is implement one or two things into the players, and it'll be the case of, like I said, I don't want to come across, Matt, as saying everyone's on trial when they come back. But what I want is, you know, I have a certain way of working, and I have high standards, and I set high. I raise the bar. Now, I'm looking for each and every one that comes through the door on the first day of pre-season, whether they're a trialist or whether they're the highest paid player at the club, to match those standards. You know, and like I said, like going back to what I said in the previous bit is, you know, it doesn't matter to me whether you're the superstar that's been at the football club, or whether you're the youngest player that's come through the academy. You know, everyone's going to be judged on their own merit, and I can tell a lot, and I will tell a lot in pre-season by the desire levels of individuals. You know, ability only gets you so far in football. You know, don't get me wrong, you do need ability, but if you've got a lad with ability that doesn't want to, it's not ambitious to go where you want to go, then, you know, we might as well make a clean break. You know, so it's not, you know, there's no threats, it's not me it's not me being unrealistic with the players. All I'm asking for them to do, you know, I strip this game down, Matt. I get paid to manage a football club. You know, I look out there and I see a fabulous stadium. I see, you know, if we're successful, I see the stadium being full. All you want players to do is have that ambition to fill the stadium and to be winners. And like I say, we'll tell, you know, with the group of players that I've inherited. We'll tell with the players that I'm bringing in. Although the players that I'm bringing in, you know, the I's are usually dotted and the T's are crossed on mentality as well as ability. Who's going to be standing come the end of the season in terms of trying to make us successful? So, you know, probably different philosophy to a lot of managers that are probably sat here.
Yeah.
but that's the way I work. You know, my teams have always had good mentality. You know, and I've said in previous interviews that I can't guarantee we're going to win every game. What I can guarantee is that the players out there will have the mentality to try and win every game, and I think that's important. I think they need to know that this game's all about winning, and you know, if we win, seats will be filled. They'll get the benefits. The club will get the benefits, and more than anything, I go home with a smile on my face.